David, you don't mind you go in English, because if you make it two languages, then it
I
takes a
know.
lot of time. You go in English.
Thank
okay?
you.
Make it a lot easier.
Salam دوستان عزیز من David Musavi هستم. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much to Mr. Tabrizi and Parya for the invitation. Thank you very much to the fellow candidates at the table here. It's wonderful to see you again. And most importantly, thank you very much to all of you who came and took the time out to take an interest in your community in what hopefully will be a successful series of election cycles, whether it be municipal, provincial, or federal. I was born in Canada in 1979. My parents immigrated in the mid-70s. I grew up in a time where there were literally no Iranians around. My Farsi, believe it or not, as wonderful as it is, I've only learned in the last couple of years. I grew up in Brampton, moved to Willowdale in 1997, been there for the last 17 years. Worked in numerous jobs there, in Tire, worked at part-time jobs at university, went to Osgoode Hall, got a law degree, did an MBA at Schulich School of Business, and I've been practicing as a lawyer ever since, and doing a lot of work on behalf of the government, federally, provincially, and of course private actors as well, nonprofit work too. In the community, I serve as the chair of a board called Downsview Services for Seniors. It serves seniors all across the North York area. It's not just Downsview. One of the big sort of advocacy issues that we've been pushing lately is seniors abuse and awareness about that. And the second thing is paramedicine, which is the concept of bringing paramedics to repeat seniors who constantly go in and out of hospitals. So it keeps costs down. The other board I serve on is the Family Day, which is a child care organization. Many of you may have sent your children there. And right now, one of the big advocacy pieces that we're working on is unregulated home daycare, which, as I'm sure many of you know, we're losing a lot of young children to unregulated home daycare. So that's another piece that we're working on there. Aside from that, I've had a number of years in the Liberal Party, and specifically in the riding of Willowdale. Past vice president of one of the riding associations. I launched the Willowdale Young Liberals Club there. I held numerous fundraisers. And then recently worked very closely with the Kathleen Wynne campaign team on her leadership, as well Justin Trudeau's leadership campaign team. So I'm going to leave it at that, and we'll pass it on to Michael. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Folks, my name is Michael Parsa. I want to start off by thanking Mr. Tabrizi and the Persian Circle for putting this together. And I also want to thank those of you who speak English for coming here and making us turn into a language so David and I can be more comfortable. So, I also want to acknowledge the fact that I was invited to this because they wanted to bring some balance. As you can see, we're very balanced. There's 5 liberals and 1 conservative sitting here. So, I wanted to give you a little background as far as what my background. I've been involved in politics in just over 20 years. I got involved when I was 15 years old. We left Iran in the mid-80s, came to Canada. My family and I have been living first in Toronto, then we moved into York Region. I think it was 99 or 2000. I've been involved with the Conservative Party, and I got involved in August of 1993. Founded several riding associations, in particular the Richmond Hill Riding Association. I served as the longest serving president. Some of my EDA members are sitting here with me. I served as the longest serving president in that riding. And I've been active in every way, shape, or form as much as I can, with my limited ability in every area that I can. Without speaking too much about myself, first I also want to acknowledge the fact that people that are sitting on this panel, I have known and I've worked with in the past for several years. I assure you, you don't get a better panel than this group here. Honestly, they're wonderful, well-qualified individuals, and it's an honor for me to sit here with them here. As far as my political experience, again, I've been involved in the outreach department of the Conservative Party. In particular, bringing out the message of what we do, of what we are in the Conservative Party, mainly to several communities that I've been in touch with in the past. That's been my duty, and I've been trying my best in every way, shape, or form to put in touch members of communities with elected officials, whether it's at municipal level, whether it's provincial or federal. Even though I've been a member of the Conservative Party for over 20 years, those of you that have known me in the past I have never cared what political stripe you're or what religion you are. It's never been an issue. I just want to be able to serve you as best as I can, with my very limited ability. And if I do go forward and if I do become a candidate, that is how I intend on being as an elected official as well. I don't want to put you guys to sleep, but one of the things that I've done and I'm very proud of is the work that I've done with the Optimist Club. The Optimist Club is a charity organization that helps youth in all walks of life. We've been able to assist hundreds of children in the York region with disabilities or from homes that need support and help. And I've been very involved. And as much as I got involved in politics, when I got involved in the Optimist Club, if you're not involved with it, you really should look at some of these charity organizations. As alluded to by one of my colleagues here, Canada is known to have strong volunteers. That's who we are as Canadians. As an Iranian-Canadian, I take great pride in knowing that I can unequivocally tell you that every member of our community, with their limited role and capabilities, they've always been available. Whenever we called them to help out in any fundraising activity, strictly for charities, they've always been there. So some of you I've never got a chance to thank, and you've done so much. I want to thank you now for doing that. So nothing else. I was asked, I think, to give a little analysis as far as the riding. So my job is just to tell you, to become a member and to be involved with a political party, and again, let's emphasize that it doesn't matter what political party you get involved with. Get to know it and see which platform fits your goals and objectives, and sign up. It's very easy. Most of them are available through the website. I believe it's liberal.ca, right? And so if you want to help the Liberal candidates, you can get in touch with them individually as well, because this is a nomination process, first of all. And if you want to, I have to mention that. And of course, the Conservative Party, if you want to help me out on my side. But regardless of whether you're Conservative, NDP, or Liberal, all of us need to unite behind David and make sure David gets elected as a councillor, because there is no... And the only thing you also need to look at is the political boundaries. The country is broken into what used to be called ridings that are now called EDAs, which is Electoral District Association. The Electoral District Association basically is where you get to vote. You buy your membership, and you then become eligible to vote in any sort of meeting, nomination meetings, anything that goes on, policy meetings within the ride. So buy your membership, get involved with the EDAs. You do have to be 14 years of age as far as our side. I don't know if it's the same thing. Yeah, so you have to be 14 years. You have to be a permanent resident or a Canadian citizen. And the fees, I don't know what it is for the Liberal Party, $10 a year. The Conservatives charge a little bit more. Our rate is a little more expensive. We're $15 for the first year. But we do give you a discount when you join 5 years. So that's about it. Other than that, I don't want to take any more of your time. If you do want to ask any individual question, I'm sure we can do that towards the end.
About your riding.
I'm sorry, I'll also be, because by virtue of moving into the riding of the newly formed riding of King Vaughan, my wife is a horseback rider. She loves riding horses, and she spends a lot of time in that riding, and she's been wanting to move into that area for a long time. So we kind of made a deal, and I said, if I get to run, we should live there. So she agreed that we're going to be moving in there. So that's where I'll be running in the King Vaughan, which is the boundary of Bathurst to Highway 50, roughly around Major Mackenzie to Highway 9, which is one of the largest ridings around the area. I told my volunteers that some of my friends are here right now. We're going to give out a lot of running shoes to them for it. Thank you all very much.